Back again. So the run has successfully finished. I need to say there was one little bug in the run script that I have not seen before. There was one path not set correctly. I'm going to show that to you right now. So that was this run, this path here, the pool dir to FESOM. It appears that the content of the pool dir that FESOM needs, like hydrography, is not yet in this pool data RBCM FESOM one. That needs to be changed, and I'm very sorry that I have this little bug in the example. I need to reproduce the video, but today I have not the time for that. So okay, nonetheless, it has done the simulation as desired, and I'm going to show to you how that looks like. So I'm going to the folder that we specified. So it goes to ESM experiments, which is the base dir, and then the experiment name, which is workshop 1. And I show you how the folder structure looks like. So it's pretty self-explanatory. Here you have the binaries, so the executables. Here's all the config files, that is mostly name lists, but also the num couple of the Oasis coupler and whatnot. If you have other models that needs XMLs or so, that goes here. We have forcing data, input data, we have log files, we might have monitoring that was switched off, but we might have monitoring data here, output data, restarts, scripts, and the actual work folder. The most important for us now is the scripts folder. Let's go there. And you see here that we have several log files. This is the main standard out log file of the last run. This huge number here that you might recognize, that is from the job submission. So all the standard out is in here. I will show you. Here's one compute. So in the beginning, it looks exactly like the output that we get if we make a check run. And then later on, that is where it used to stop the last time. Here again is the setup stuff. And then we have the standard output from ECAM and FESOM. And if we go to the very bottom, then you see that this is the output of the routines that do the cleanup, tidying up the work folder and sorting everything nicely away. And then we have here experiment finished, means we have reached the final date of the experiment. Okay, so that's here. Then we can have a look at this one. This is the overall log file that gives us a good view about what happened. So we see beginning of experiment, then we started the first month, and then we reached the final date already. So it was just 1 month and experiment over. So that's pretty boring now, but it's very helpful later. This is the main date file here. So somewhere we need to save the information about at which date we have already simulated and where we would start with the next restart. That is happening here. And every other date files or configuration files, including a date that you might have somewhere, like for FESOM, the clock file, they are generated from the by the tools from this file. So it does not contain a lot, and it is exactly like the date file that you know from MPI ESM, maybe. Okay, then we have some error monitoring stuff that was not running. So here is the overall setup. That is exactly the output that you have in the standard out also, so you can have a look here. Notice that there's no file here called missing underscore something. That is a very good sign. That means that we have found all the files that we need. Here we have the Git status. You can look inside. It tells you in which revision of the ESM-Tools you are and if you have changed anything on it. This is the actual run script. So the run script itself copies itself inside this folder and also resubmits itself from here. That means that your whole experiment is kind of self-contained and you cannot just by chance remove the script somewhere else, and that's you end up without script also. And here is a copy of the ESM-Tools folder. That means even if you go and change the scripts now, they will not change for this experiment, so that you can do the same experiment again or continue with this experiment. You can set a command line flag if you call this script again. It is -U that tells the scripts that it should do an update of the ESM-Tools. Then they would take the latest version that you have lying at the function path. Okay, so that is the content of this folder. Then I want to show you in the log folder, and then the name of the coupled setup, you have a dump file. If something goes wrong and you can't figure out from the standard out log file that I've just shown to you, you can have a look in here. So that has a lot of information, lots more than the other one, but it's also quite nasty to read. So this is a bit hidden away so that it does not disturb you if everything goes like planned, but if you need it, it's here. Let's go back, and as an example I want to show you the config folder. Here you see that you have a subfolder for each model, and if you go, let's say, to phase on, you see all the name lists, and also there's another setup file which tells us exactly where these came from. So these were copied from the ESM-Tools folders, and then you see here this is a different color that was modified by the ESM run scripts. Okay, so far so good. So then you can have a look in the restart folders, let's say ECAM at this time, and you see that the written restarts already here. So they are, this one for example, 31st of January, so that is what was written by the job. You notice that there's no restarts for the beginning of our job because we said that we want an initial run. So I would be very satisfied with this run now. It did exactly what I wanted it to do. So yeah, if you are actually able to do the same thing, and you should be, because it's not much more than I've shown to you, you have your first run ready, and I'll see you in the next video when I show you how to make things more complicated and make more interesting runs.